Yo, what's good, gang? You know the name. It's Transition representing Gap Tooth Games, and I'm back at y'all with another video. Go ahead, hit that like button for me.
Oh, yes.
Drop a comment down in the comment section and let me know how you feel about the video. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, because we're going up. We on our way to 10K, so if you want to help us get there, just tap that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell. But man, in today's video, we're gonna be checking out this dude that's been going viral. He's been all up and down my timeline for a little minute, and I never really peeped in on him. So this guy claims to be, I believe, 19 years old, and he fancies himself as a natty athlete. Now, you know me, I'm Gap Tooth Games. I come in the name of Jesus.
I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
When it comes to doing this fitness stuff, I does this thing the natty way. Yeah, I don't even use weights, gang, unless it's legs, right? But I do calisthenics, man, and I goes hard about mine. And I'm heavy into gym culture, man. I love bodybuilding. I watch bodybuilding shows. Like I be pretty much on it. And the second I seen this dude, I was like, there is no way people are actually believing that this dude is natural, right? But we're gonna tune into a YouTube channel by the name of Cal, and he gonna be breaking down the whole situation, because I personally feel like it's the Lord's work being done when you expose these fake natties, man. We live in a time where you got your people like Larry Will, Sam Sulek. You got people who are known users, and that's okay. You ain't gotta lie about what you do. You know what I'm saying? But when you lie to people saying that basically you can obtain this naturally, you just gotta do this and do that. That's how people get hurt, man, because people are messing around and believe you. You know what I'm saying? That's how Kali Muscle, you know, pretty much rose to fame, by claiming he was natty all of them years until his heart started giving out and having heart attacks and stuff. But without further ado, we are dropping into a reaction zone. Make sure you hit that hype button. Make sure you hit that like button. And don't forget to drop it. And let's drop into the content. Let's do it.
Videos back last year, you remember Julian Fitzgerald. And in fact, even if you didn't freaking watch me, you would know who Julian Fitzgerald was, because this guy blew up out of nowhere. Around sort of like spring, summer last year, there was this guy who was blowing up for being 18 years old and having a physique reminiscent to some unbelievable IFBB pros who are out there.
Now, I want you to take a good look at this young man. The only thing that's 18 about this ninja is his damn face, all right? Cuz got a baby face, and that's because he shaves to the chin, right? But this nigga got the body of a seasoned IFBB pro, gang. He looked like Chris Jones, represent Pump Chasers. He got the body of a person who's been doing bodybuilding for years, natty, right? Like over a decades, natty. I'm not saying that's not achievable, natty. I'm saying at the age of 18, to have that level of muscle maturity, no, gang. I'm not buying it.
People were saying, mate, how the hell has this guy got a physique, especially at that age? And also, naturally. Because yes, this guy was claiming to be freaking natural. And there were some people out there who were saying that he had 1 in a million genetics. You remember that from last year? 1 in a million!
1 in a million. 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 1 in how much?
A million.
It was like one of them fake natural situations, but just taken up 5 notches higher because this guy had an unbelievable physique. Unlike pretty much anyone we've ever seen before who's natural by the frigging way. The only sort of downside to his physique is when he showed off his full physique and he showed his legs. I mean, I'm just saying. And after literally having a meteoric rise on social media, after posting like 1 or 2 freaking videos that really just started to blow up, this guy was of course having collaborations with different people, one of the most notable ones being Larry Wheels. And
Now look at him next to Larry Wheels. How tall is Larry Wheels?
Larry Wheels stands.
Okay, so Larry Wheels is 6'1", which puts dude probably about 5'8", 5'9", right? He's not much smaller than Larry Wheels, guys. Larry Wheels is juiced to the gills, okay? His bicep peak and Larry Wheels' bicep peak are dead. This arm and this arm are damn near the same size. He looked like SpongeBob with the inflator arms, gang.
it's funny because in that video, he, okay, fine, he has a great physique, but I think some people have that idea then of, oh, because I have a great physique, I can then teach people how to do a certain thing, gain muscle, do a certain exercise, when do you really know what you're on about? And he started to over-critique someone like Larry Wheels, who, okay, fine, he's come into scrutiny recently, but he's an IFBB pro bodybuilder and he's telling him what to do.
Perfect. Try to keep your head up a little bit, keep that chin up so you can keep your body straight. There you go, try to get a little bit closer to the bar. There you go. Kind of lean back a little bit. Yep, straight body, right there. Ooh. All right, yeah.
He also did some infamous collaborations with Hany Rambod. He then got signed to Evogen, and he said that he wanted to be the youngest classic physique Mr. Olympia. C-Bum won it at 24, so he wanted to win it. 24 but younger, or 23 if you know what I mean. And him being 18, just turning 19, it was in the cards for him, if you know what I mean. That's if he's natural and he can just hop on gear and hop on the freaking Olympia stage. I don't think it's achievable, but many people think it is. And of course, this guy was coming under heavy scrutiny by so many people because he was claiming friggin' natural. And that's ultimately why he was blowing up nonetheless. Yes, his physique was amazing, and that's going to get him some notoriety, but it's the fact that so many people were talking about him, which made it friggin' go to the bloody moon, like blow up like freaking crazy. And you even have freaking guys like Hany Rambod backing up like, oh, guys, he's natural because he can't lift that much weight, guys. Like, he's a hyper responder to FST7 training. What?
I was alluding to is the rear delt. So his rear delt right here, bring your elbow back, right in there. That actually feels, this is like hyper responder, right? So his rear delt has actually grown even from the last time we did shoulders. So again, if you're on gear, you're gonna do more weight than one plate. So just, it is what it is. Talking about the strength. Obviously, if somebody's taking gear, you're gonna put at least 3 plates on there, maybe 4 or more.
Hany has a nervous tail, guys. Have y'all figured it out already? It's that laugh. Every time he lies, he does that nervous little laugh. He's a hyper responder. If he was on gear, then it wouldn't look like that. He can't lift a lot of weights. If he was on gear, you know what I'm saying? Like, you clearly lying, gang.
More, right? Doing a plate and a quarter is because, again, that's natty.
But there's something else that came up recently which you just think, mate, how are you still claiming to be natural? How are you continuing on this frigging masquerade on social media with some people even believing you? I think most people don't even freaking believe him at all. But I'm going to go into that in this video, because in this freaking video, I'm going to talk about how he claims to have 21.5-inch arms now.
Let me just help y'all figure this out real quick, and then we're going to really just let the video run through for a bit. If you are under 6 foot and you are over 200 pounds, shredded, not a lick of fat on you, you're on something. I don't give a damn. I know natural human body genetics. I don't care if you got the best genetics in the world. You're not going to be under 6 foot over 200 pounds and not carry a little fluff with your muscles. That's not how the human body works. Now you can get show ready, you know what I'm saying? You can get a dietitian, you can tweak the body to make it look a certain way, but once you start cutting, some muscle's gonna go with it. That's just how it goes. But if you're over 6 foot, over 200 pounds, shredded, all right, you could probably be natty. Now, it's hard to maintain that for bigger dudes like that. It's harder for them to get like that. But if you are 5'8" or below, over 200 pounds, man, get up out of here, gang.
You dumbass!
I'm going to go back to his first and only YouTube video that is hard to find sometimes, but he does go into detail on his arm size at that time, and we could compare it and see if his claims are legitimate and really achievable for a frigging natural. And I also want to go over the dilemma that he has at the moment as well, because it is quite mad. But first, thank you. Thank you for all the support that you give to the channel. It genuinely means so much. Honestly, you wouldn't imagine how much it means to me. And if you are a new viewer and you fancy subscribing, I would really appreciate that as well. And in fact, the goal that I had was to reach 10k before the Arnold UK, which is at the end of this month, which was so close to freaking hitting, mate. And if we're able to do that, that would be unbelievable. Now, I was scrolling through my For You page recently and this video popped up. Someone was asking Julian Fitzgerald, how big are your arms at the moment, mate? And he replied, 21.5 inches. Of course, the video went viral because people were claiming that he was taking steroids. Like I said earlier, that's how he blew up in the first place. But one thing that I remember was a video that he made about 6 months ago, last September, where he was measuring his arm size, both cold and pumped, flexed up, if you know what I mean. And there was some freaking notable information to think about. And I guess that's one of the perks of making videos on this, guys, is that you freaking remember this type of information. But he said in that video this.
20 and a little bit more than a quarter.
Okay, cool.
20
Almost 21.
Sorry. But I probably
So we're getting up to 21. We're going to work up there.
Okay, so you're telling me about 6 months ago, he had 20.25 or just over inch arms as a natural, whilst pumped up and already having a crazy developed physique anyway, when many people were freaking calling him fake natural, and now he's gained 1.25 inches on his arm in 6 months. Let's just go over the possibilities in which it could be. He's either lying about his arm size. That's a possibility. We can't really prove that, can we? Unless I got a bloody tape measure. And I was at the friggin' Arnold right now, and I measured his arms after he got a bicep pump. So we can rule that one out. Another one is that he's fat now. He's bulked up, and he's holding so much fat around his arms to the point where they don't look like a defined, hard freaking arm anymore. No. No. They don't. If you literally look at recent physique updates that he's done, you can see that the guy isn't necessarily crazy bulked. He's not crazy bulked. He still has good definition and separation in his arms. Like, he hasn't really gained much fat. If you were bulking at the moment, he hasn't gained much fat in the last 6 months or so. So you can't really say that either. Another possibility, which I've heard some people say in comments, is synthol use. Now, yes, this is a possibility. You see these like freaking extreme examples of people using synthol on social media so much, and people expect that to be the outcome of what happens if you take synthol, and that's just not the case. These guys are extreme examples who literally pump their frigging body, liters of oil into each body part to give it that really bulbous look to it. It's disgusting, right? But there are guys in bodybuilding who just use it to bring up a certain body part. They may put it in their rear delt if that's lacking, or their tricep, or, you know, just certain parts of their body to bring it up, right? And so he could have done that in his bicep to bring it up more. Again, that's a possibility, but can we really say that he's doing synthol? Maybe. But I think the most likely one is the fact he's lying about his bloody steroid usage, and he's just continuing to gain more freaking muscle mass. Now, when we're talking about progression in the gym, it's only on an individual basis which we can talk about the circumference of someone's arm and how much progress they've made. Oh, I had a 17-inch arm 2 years ago, and now I have an 18.5-inch arm, or something like that, right? But that's sort of like retrospective. You look back on how much your arm has grown. You can't really look at how much your arm can grow until it grows. I know there's like people that, oh yeah, put an inch on your arm with this workout. Or, okay, look, this is a pile of crap, right? Because everyone has different arm shapes, arm sizes, arm length. My freaking arm in regard to my shoulder to my elbow is going to be a different length to yours, and my bicep insertion is going to be different to yours in regard to, is it short, is it well peaked, is it longer and fuller? You know what I mean, right? And so we can't necessarily just look at this guy and say, oh, he's gained 1.25 inches, therefore it's unnatural because he's gained that much of a circumference on his arm. Look, you can't really. But what we can look at, though, for this guy being natural, is realistic gains for naturals over the years. Now, we can look at freaking different models, right? We got Lyle McDonald here. If you watch Solomon Nelson, you'll be aware. over the years. Now we can look at freaking different models, right? We got
Look at this. This ninja look like Arnold in his prime. The chest width, man, come on, gang. You are not about to pee on my leg and tell me it's raining. I told you, I come in the name of Jesus.
I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit.
And the devil is a liar.
The devil is a motherfucking liar. So you know I ain't worried. Biatch.
So, young man, do you think that I'm
You stupid bitch.
Cause I'm not falling for that, bro. You are juiced to the gills. You got Capri Suns, Juggies, and mother freaking Tampico at your house right now. Like, you are juiced up, homie. Jesus.
McDonald here. If you watch Solomon Nelson, you'll be aware of this guy. And he talks about in the first year, people can gain 20 to 25 pounds. Second year, 10 to 12. Third year, 5 to 6. And then 4, 2 to 3, and so on and so forth. Another model developed by Alan Argan and Eric Helms talks about the percentage of body weight that you can gain monthly as a beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And of course, you can see that there's starting to be a trend that's developing here. There are other ones as well, like a guy called Martin Birkin, but this is mainly to do with what your upper limit is going to be, like estimating your potential before you've gotten there, if you know what I mean. So it's a bit different. But what I'm trying to get at is if you were to look at different models of...
See what I told y'all down there at the bottom. 6 foot, 182, 192, 185. It's very hard to be under 6 foot and over 200 pounds shredded. Like, that's hard. Like, to be jacked and lean, no fat, solid muscle, full muscle bellies, under 6 foot, over 200 pounds. Yes, homie, you are juicing.
If you know what I mean. So it's a bit different. But what I'm trying to get at is if you were to look at different models of how much you can gain as a natural over time, you will see the same trend with every single model, with a graph that will usually look like a sharp increase and then it starts to plateau off over time. You'll get diminishing returns over the years. Even if you're locked in all the time, you will gain lesser and less amounts of muscle every single year until, of course, you've reached the genetic limit, as people have said, as a freaking natural, and you can't really gain much muscle after that. And you're kind of maintaining at that point. Now, these models are kind of based on everything being set in stone and perfect since the day one of the gym. So, like, you start the gym and your form's great and you have good programming and you're able to progressively overload and your diet's good and your sleep's good and everything like that. And so you can progress at a steady rate and then it'll look like that graph. You make the most gains in the first year and then it slows down over time. But of course, there's sort of a trend with people saying, well, most of the time people waste their first year. They don't really know how to structure a friggin' training split properly. Their diet's perhaps crap. They're not really locked in at all. And so yes, in theory and in actual practicality for many people, they'll gain more muscle in perhaps the second and third year because the first year was so wasted on them doing things in the wrong way. But either way, no matter how you do it, there will be a rate of diminishing returns at some point. Now, yes, there will be frigging genetic phenoms out there who are able to achieve more than others. If we pull up those models that I was looking at previously, let's say for instance Lyle McDonald, he said in the first year you can gain 20 to 25 pounds of muscle in the first year or so, right? But the thing is your genetics are going to play a role in that. Some people are going to be able to get to that upper 25 pounds. Some people may be able to go over that 25 pounds. Some people may be under that 20 pounds even on the lower end. It's going to be heavily based on genetics, right? And so there will be people who can gain more muscle than others as a natural. Like, that is just the frigging facts. But like Julian Fitzgerald though, probably not. Now, if someone starts gaining a lot when they start training and doing everything correctly, that's not unusual, right? But if they get to a point where they're getting diminishing returns and then for some reason they just start getting a lot more gains and their physique just gets even crazier and they break through that limit and their FFMI is a lot higher than the average freaking natural, if you know what I mean, then yeah, it usually means one thing.
That's a 55-pound increase in body weight. Now, of course, some people will argue that Chris wasn't actually natty in this after image, but I believe he was. Here's what he looked like at 17. He's already bigger than most natural lifters that I know, and we also have screenshots of the exact day when his coach said that he started his first cycle, and this image was taken before that day. So it seems most likely to me that he was natural here. All right, so Chris added 55 pounds of muscle naturally. After enhancing, he now weighs 264 pounds in the off season at what looks like a similar body fat to these previous images. So an extra 40 pounds added. In this case, it does look like Chris built most of his muscle naturally, which is damn impressive. That leads me to think that Sebum probably isn't taking a huge amount of gear and could almost certainly grow a whole lot more if he wanted to by simply upping the dose. Not that I'm suggesting he do that.
Now, Jeff Nippert actually made a video a couple of years ago talking about how much muscle you can gain as a natural and how much muscle you can gain on steroids. Of course, there is the factor of genetics, which play a role, but he uses two examples of genetic phenoms who were both enhanced and both competed at a crazy high level, that being Sebum and Sean Clarida. Now, of course, Sebum, 6-time Classic Physique Mr. Olympia, and Sean Clarida, 2-time 212 Classic Physique Mr. Olympia. So these guys have won at the highest level. We can see that these guys had crazy physiques, absolute crazy physiques as naturals. So like I was saying earlier, there are genetic phenoms who can gain a lot more as a natural. They gained up to a certain point, and then they raised the ceiling even further by jumping on.
If he's natural right there, those are some good freaking legs as a natty, gang. Shout out to him. Cause let me tell you, man, I do this natty shit for real, and it is hard to grow them legs, dog. I tore like a major something in my leg, something connecting my knee to like my upper thigh area. I tore that, and now it's just like a balled up muscle at the top in the space where the muscle used to be running down my leg, right? Like, I honestly thought I'd never be able to run again after it initially happened, right? So it's, especially for me, it's hard for me to go heavy on legs, bro, because I'm scared of, you know, re-injuring myself. But he got some good legs, man. Shout out to you, bro. It's hard to put on some good legs as a natty.
Performance enhancing drugs. They got to a point, then they raised the bar even further by jumping on PEDs.
When we look at different people's results from natural lifting, there's a broad range of responses. Some people gain very little muscle, others gain a massive amount of muscle, with most people landing somewhere in the middle. Sebum would be way over here, by the way. And just like there are genetic differences in how you respond to natural training, there are also genetic differences in how you respond to anabolics. For example, in that 2001 study, the worst responding subject added 9 pounds of muscle in 20 weeks, while the best responding subject added 31 pounds of muscle in 20 weeks without lifting. This guy gained more muscle in 5 months of juicing than I did in 15 years of natty training. I'm gonna be sick.
But it's funny, when I look at the natural pictures of Sean Clarida when he competed as a natural, genetic phenom, mate. Absolutely crazy. Sebum, when he was, actually before he even competed, when he was just in college and stuff, guy had a crazy physique. But honestly, I don't think it's Julian Fitzgerald level, mate.
This is like hyper responder, right? Again, that's natty.
And that's one of the main things that steroids do when you start taking them. They raise the ceiling on what you can actually gain on your physique. Because as a natural, there is that ceiling which everyone talks about, and when you get to, and then you can't really gain a lot more. But then when you go on performance enhancers, there is just a crazier potential there for you to be able to gain if you can react to the steroids well. Of course, there's something like growth hormone. You take it, you're no longer natural. What will happen is it will stimulate your liver to secrete more IGF-1. And then in turn, what happens is it binds to the receptors on your muscle cells, which then promote amino acid uptake, muscle protein synthesis, and then in turn the creation of new muscle fibers. Anabolism, basically, you get bigger muscles. And that's just growth hormone, let alone if you were taking other compounds at the same time. But regardless of looking at diminishing returns on gains as a natural, or even talking about performance enhancing drugs, or anything like that, you can literally just think, with common sense, is this even possible? Well, we can compare him to other Mr. Olympias. I'm not talking about influencers. I'm not talking about
Classic Arnold. Behind him, Lou Ferrigno. To the what? The left of him, Serge Nubret. These are 3 mass monsters. These guys like this changed bodybuilding. This is the golden era of bodybuilding. Before that, it was more about, you know, the proportions, the aesthetics of the physique, the flow. They put the size on and really changed the game. And you telling me you just naturally looking like these ninjas on a casual Tuesday? Boy, you better get the hell up out my face.
Shut your bubblegum dumb looking ass the fuck up.
Amateur bodybuilders. I'm not talking about guys who have competed and won maybe even shows like the New York Pro or anything like that. I'm talking about Mr. Olympias, the best bodybuilders in the world. Arnold Schwarzenegger, okay, fine. That was 50 years ago. But still, Arnold Schwarzenegger, some of the best arms in bodybuilding history, according to some people, had about 20 to 21 inch arms. 20, oh, maybe over that, you know. Measurements aren't completely perfect sometimes, but roughly about that. Jay Cutler, I'm talking about more mass monster era now. One of the best bodybuilders of all time, had a crazy physique, was able to hold his own against Ronnie freaking Coleman, mate. Had 22 to 22.5 inch biceps. Now, yes, you may be thinking, oh, but that's bigger than Julian Fitzgerald. What we're talking about is Mr. Olympia with 22 inch biceps and some natural on Instagram with 21.5. Even Mr. Olympia freaking right now, Derek Lunsford. People talk about the fact, okay, Derek Lunsford has a bad double bicep. There's no separation. His lack of development in his arms. Okay, yeah, fine. The guy's biceps aren't the best, but he's still Mr. Olympia right now. He was at the Arnold Classic recently, and like most of these events, there are people going around, oh, how big are your biceps? Let's measure your biceps. People were measuring Derek Lunsford's biceps. Mr. Olympia, they turned out to be, just watch this.
Where's the Venom pre-workout? Xavier, grab me the veins. Let's go. It's a lie.
21?
No, it's a lie. 23.
21. Now, yes, Derek Lunsford is shorter than Julian Fitzgerald, but even still, Mr. Olympia has 21 inch bicep. This guy has 21.5 inch biceps. You may think that I'm trying to make some big fuss out of this, but mate, I'm just trying to say, this guy is just a bloody social media star. He hasn't even competed yet. He's claiming to be freaking natural, and yet he still has biceps bigger than some Mr. Olympias in the past, and bigger than a lot of bodybuilders who compete at a high level. You are freaking kidding me. And this is the dilemma that I was linking into, or referencing at the start of this video. Mate, if you look like this naturally, right, you have the best genetics in bodybuilding freaking history, and that means, mate, if you freaking hopped on steroids right now, went on it right now, what's stopping you from doing that and becoming 10-time Mr. Olympia? No one is ever going to beat you, mate. Because think about it, I was referencing earlier, there is a ceiling for natural gains, and then you can increase that ceiling or raise the ceiling by loads by hopping on performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've seen everything that we've needed to see out of this video. I don't think this man could honestly, seriously expect anybody of sound judgment and reason to believe that he is a natty lifter. At the age of 18? Yeah. Anyway, y'all let me know how y'all feel about this one down in the comment section, man. Do you in your right mind believe that this man is natty? And if so, please explain. Please give me a thorough explanation down in the comment section on what logic you use to deduce that that man is actually natty. You know, I need to hear it. But yeah, man, y'all let me know how y'all feel about that one down in the comment section. Shout out to Cal, man. Dope channel. Let me make sure I hit that like button on my way out. You dig? Make sure y'all go over there and check out the guy. And I'll give you a sub, man. Oh, it looks like he passed his 10 sub mark. But yeah, definitely hit that. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all in this one, man. Y'all be sure to check me out on the next one. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Comment down in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Road to 10K. We on the way. And until next time, gang, you know the name. It's Transition representing Gap 2 Gains. Oh yeah, and don't forget, life isn't about making it from point A to point B. Life is about living in between the gaps. Peace out.
Steady cash getting why they heavy hash twisting. Lane sippers and mean strippers who just all up at the green and it means just fast living. And I'm not one to judge cause I've been off that mud double cup with no fucks when I pass limits. And who don't like the smoke and get gone off a cone but it would not get blown unless gas in it. Hold up, we bout to roll up. I got some smoke, keep you up like it's Folgers. Rookies try to hit the cookie, fuck around and throw up. So we drop the hottest pen verse and it blow up. But we got some recognition from a nigga, so what? We be walking down the street, get beeps like they know us. Now bitches in the sheets, but the freak on the meat skis keep grab their feet. Hell yeah, make them toe touch. You know what? I go nuts, but yet I'm steady focused. Probably from the biomass flower, no lotus. I can't even think how many trees when it's smoked up. Whatever the number, gonna fuss, you'll need a tow truck. Getting shit across the seas with ease, put a boat up. That's no lie, baby girl, no joking. Shorty said she can't swim, I'm behind the back stroking. Do it for the love of buzz, stuff a blunt, make it swell and make your fucking chest open.